Real teams do not use Claude Code like a magic chat box. They standardize prompts, repo memory, review gates, and the places where agents are allowed to act. The session starts with a contract, the goal, the files and scope, the files off limits, and the evidence that proves the work is done. Teams write the things they keep repeating into Claude.md, build commands, architecture notes, conventions, and rules the agent should load every session. For risky work, teams use plan mode first. Claude can inspect the repo and propose a plan before edits touch disk. A common pattern is writer and reviewer. One Claude session proposes the patch, a separate review pass challenges it against tests and edge cases. When a task spans more than one sitting, teams resume the prior conversation instead of re-explaining the same repo context from scratch. Parallel work is isolated with Git work trees, so one session can build a feature while another fixes a bug without colliding edits. Agent view is the visual control surface. Teams can track sessions, review activity, and keep parallel agent work from becoming invisible. For large codebases, teams delegate research to subagents so exploration does not flood the main conversation with file reads. For bigger jobs, teams compare subagents, agent view, agent teams, and work trees instead of pretending every task needs the same loop. Hooks turn team rules into execution guardrails, before tools run, after edits finish, when subagents start, or when work trees are created. At the organization level, settings define what Claude Code can use, what plugins are allowed, and where managed memory comes from. Claude Code Review is a research preview for team and enterprise plans, designed to post findings as inline PR comments, not replace human review. Teams also wire Claude into GitHub Actions for automation, using CI as a controlled place for repeatable agent work. Once more engineers use it, the question becomes operational: who is using Claude Code, where time goes, and which workflows are worth standardizing? Security is not a slide at the end. Real teams define permissions, hooks, data boundaries, and review rules before broad rollout. The .claude directory becomes the team's operating folder: settings, hooks, skills, commands, subagents, rules, and memory. Teams keep rules scoped. A backend migration rule should not pollute front-end work, and a vendor directory should not waste the agent's attention. For larger organizations, managed Claude.md style instructions can inject the same baseline policy into every engineer's session. MCP is how teams connect Claude Code to external systems, but real rollouts allow only the servers and tools that match the workflow. Claude Code can also run non-interactively. Teams use that for scripts, batch checks, CI tasks, and narrow automation. The best team workflows define when the agent must stop: failing tests, risky files, permission prompts, or a review gate it cannot pass. For PR review, teams tune what Claude should flag with repository context files like Claude.md and review.md. Work trees are fresh checkouts, so teams explicitly decide which get-ignored local files can be copied with .worktree include. Teams separate local agent behavior from managed services. The source of truth is what data and permissions each path actually uses. Onboarding is practical. Install the tool, load repo memory, run plan mode, make one small patch, then review the diff like production code. The useful metric is not whether the demo looked impressive. It is whether the change survived tests, review, and another engineer reading the diff. Real teams measure adoption and workflow quality, then standardize the patterns that reduce rework instead of chasing every feature. The failure modes are predictable: vague goals, stale memory, broad permissions, hidden parallel edits, and trusting output without review. The sane rollout is small and strict: one repo, shared memory, plan mode, review gates, hooks, and only then broader automation. What teams standardize is not a prompt trick. They standardize context, permissions, isolation, review, automation, and measurement. Claude Code becomes useful on a team when it is treated like an engineering workflow, not a shortcut around engineering discipline.